Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please.
Hey Darcy,
Duff, how are you, buddy?
not bad. Bit of a bit of a weird week, I'd say.
Weird
Some
week.
some ups and downs, and I'm excited that the weekend's here and another edition of Cop Car Coffee.
Oh, you got the name right today.
I got the name right.
Yeah, not what do you call it? Car
You,
cop coffee or coffee cop car?
I usually say car first for some reason
Car
because
cup
that's the
coffee.
focus. I'm like car, and then, anyways, I did it right today, so don't make me say it the wrong way.
You will say it the wrong
Yeah,
way then. I'm
yeah.
guaranteeing that you will. I'll
Oh
put money
well,
on it.
yeah. It's a beautiful day today.
It is, yeah.
Again, we're a day late. Maybe we'll end up doing these things on Mondays if this trend continues.
Exactly.
Uh, it's like
So so
wow.
so we should apologize then to our
Oh
listeners for
God,
being a
here
day
we
late
go.
and apologizing
The
for this podcast
the
again.
regular apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Always off
day
the top.
late
A day late.
and a
Apologize.
dollar and a dollar short.
$1 short. Apologizing for the podcast, for our content
Oh
upcoming
God.
25
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't know where I heard that. Where's that expression from? A day late and a dollar short.
I don't know.
It is one though, right? It exists.
I believe you're right. Yes, I believe it does exist.
Because I remember hearing it from an old fella I used to work with digging up old gas stations. He used to have that one, and he had another one that he always said, "I'll bet dollars to donuts."
Dollars
Was
to
another
donuts.
one,
Yeah.
and he always said, "Between you, me, and the lamppost."
Yep.
What's with
That's
the
another expression too.
What's with the lamppost?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Well, lampposts don't tend to talk.
Those were another great.
Yeah.
Okay, this was totally not planned. This wasn't.
No.
You get me going on stuff I
Yeah.
remember. His other one, which I laugh to this day and I use all the time.
Yeah.
He he was a big burly excavator operator, right? And
Yeah.
I was the hydrogeologist directing all the work, and he was actually happy that I was a hydrogeologist and not an engineer because he had this thing about engineers. His line on engineers was engineers take pride in being stupid. It was so funny. So whenever my bosses would show up, he'd always be, "Are they an engineer or are they like you?" I'm like, they're an engineer.
Yeah.
God damn it. And he wouldn't even give them a chance. And they'd show up and he'd listen to them and he'd have this grin that he didn't even respect. That was weird. A lot of great engineers out there, by the way, I'll just say.
Yeah.
A lot of friends of mine are engineers, but
Yeah.
that was a great line. I always remember that one.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. No, it sounds like
Yeah.
an
He's a
interesting.
good dude.
Yeah, it sounds like
Those
an interesting guy.
I had a blast with those
Yeah.
guys. Man, we had fun. Always out of town.
Yeah.
Always had the big expense budget.
Yeah.
I learned how to drink coffee, and I pretty much learned how to drink beer with those guys. It was
You know what they say?
what?
Excavator operators are always characters.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just
Oh,
making that up.
they were characters.
It sounds like they were characters.
And the beverages I remember, because there were other guys that they were all characters, and the coffee runs were epic, man.
Yeah.
Like you would do, and I would do a lot of the coffee runs
Yeah.
because they'd be busy actually working, and I'd be the guy just observing everything.
Yeah.
So imagine 5 or 6 guys, and I'd have to buy it, of course. Maybe this is the karma. Maybe this is why I'm getting all the
Yeah,
free
that's
coffee
right.
these
Yeah,
days.
that's right.
I'm talking daily. I'd make a
Yeah.
coffee run.
Although I have to say,
Yeah,
I bought today.
you did buy
Yeah.
today. Good listener, Darcy bought
Yeah.
today. So I'd make a coffee run for 5 or 6 coffees. I'd be writing it down because everyone had their own friggin' thing. And I remember one guy, this.
You know what? You know what a
Why
hydrogeologist?
you cut me off on my coffee
I just
story?
want to add pipe
Yeah.
in. You know what hydrogeologist is short for?
I know you can barely say it.
Hydrogeologist.
Yeah.
That is a tongue twister.
Well, I guess.
You know what? For me.
Yeah.
You know what it's short for though?
What?
Gopher.
Oh, okay. I was a very well-paid
You were a
gopher.
gopher.
I was so well paid. So I'd make the run to Timmy's. It was always Timmy's too back then.
Yeah.
Can you say Timmy's?
Oh. Yeah. You can't say that. Can we say Timmy's?
I can say it. I just did.
Okay.
So I'd hit the Timmy's. And the
Thanks
one
for that
order I
reminder.
particularly remember was this guy that would get, and I'm not making this up at all, it was 5 and 5. You know what that stands for?
5 sugar, 5 cream.
5 cream, 5 sugar.
Yeah.
It was an extra large, mind
Is that
you.
different from 5 sugar, 5 cream, the way I said it?
Oh, yeah. I always think cream and sugar. Anyways, it was a syrup. And it's funny because people get ice caps all the time now, and that's about what they're made of, right? That's the ratio.
Probably
But when you,
more than
it's
that.
probably more. But when you think of it in a coffee, it's like, my God.
Is there any coffee with that?
Yeah, no kidding. Because I used to be a double-double in those days, and now I think of a double-double, and it makes me go, ugh. Like, I like just the regular, and I'm even trying to tone that back. But anyways, this poor bugger would get 5 and 5, and it wasn't just one coffee run a day. We'd do 3. We'd have one in the morning at our safety tailgate.
Yeah.
We'd have one mid-morning, and then we'd often have one just mid-late afternoon.
Wow.
Because, by the way, these weren't 9 to 5 jobs like some people. We'd be on site at 7 and we'd work till 7. You're out of town. What else could you do, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so can you
You had
imagine
3
having
5 and 5s a day?
he'd have 15 cream and 15 sugar, and then I'd make the run for the insulin after work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
You had your EpiPen with you.
You know what though? Salt. Well,
I don't know.
You're confusing your
I know, I'm just,
insulin with these things, but hey.
Well, no, maybe he
good.
might have dropped dead after having 15.
Okay.
You needed to revive him.
But you know what? It's a testament to the human body. Like, it's incredible. So we would do 10 days on and 4 days off up north. So I don't want to make this a math lesson because God knows that makes you panic. Math, probably.
10 days on at 15 per day. That's
10 days on,
per
10 days
week.
on, 4 days off. A lot of coffee, and then a lot of these. We won't get into the extracurricular activities. Maybe save that for another podcast.
Yeah.
But the beverage was swapped from uppers to downers after work for sure. It was more the alcohol-based drinks after work, and I tell you, I mean, there are calories in these drinks, and it kept these guys going, I guess. But
I suppose.
anyways, what did we actually want to talk about today?
Well, I think that I wanted to bring up that unfortunately you had kind of a rough week.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of weird things this week. Yeah.
So I wanted to.
So no humor here. The next 2 minutes is no humor.
Yeah. So I do want to point out on a more serious note that unfortunately you had one of your cats.
Yes.
You had to put down.
Poor Purry.
Purry.
It was a tough week. Yeah. I really.
It's really tough to lose a pet, eh?
It's tough to lose a pet, and I mean, she was part of the family, and it was tough. It was tough. Okay. So I almost thought of a joke with the vet bill, but no.
Well, I do.
It was tough losing the pet, and it was tough dealing with the vets. My goodness.
Yeah. So I did want to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think maybe we should have like a really quick moment of silence for Purry. No.
If you really want to.
I know how much you told me she used to sit on your lap and watch the games. So I thought
the games.
Like if you want to have a moment of silence,
we will have just a remembrance of Purry, but we don't need to have a specific moment of silence. Not when we're keeping the good listener here for 25 minutes.
Well, a moment of silence is like 1 second.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is.
That's
nice moment. Thank you for bringing that up. I wasn't expecting that. It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had obviously growing up, I've had numerous animals over the years, and I know it's tough when you lose a pet that's been around for a while.
It hurts. And it hurts because when you have kids that are like this was the whole thing. It threw us for days, to be honest. Yeah.
But it's true. Like I will say, you said you didn't want to make a joke about the vet, but the thing is,
now we can. We're done with Purry, and
the thing is about it. It is true. Like if you're going through a tough time with the pet, and the vet is like, "We'll put it down.
Yeah,
it'll cost you $400."
I know, and
it's like
you're just like
hit me when I'm down already.
Exactly.
You know,
the vet we dealt with was wonderful though. Like,
no, they're
really
all great.
Good bedside man. Yeah, like everything was really good. And again, fortunately, we're not living, paycheck to paycheck, but it's still
like $400, and they're like, we'll throw in a paw print.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. Well, it's because Purry has left behind Tom Purry.
Tom Purry.
So Tom Purry's with us, and what a beautiful cat too.
Yeah.
So between getting Tom Purry, all her vaccinations and her neutering, and then Purry and dealing with her end of life treatments. Like it was an expensive week.
Yeah, I imagine.
And then just to transition into the other sort of expensive week part. This is not a stockbroker podcast, but I'll just say what a shitty week on the stock market. My God.
So that was the other thing you had.
Yes.
It was terrible for you.
All I'm going to say is like, and if you're paying attention to my portfolio, good listener, I've got 3 different things going. I've got what I'd like to call my guarantees, and then I've got my growth ETFs, which have been doing very well, and then I got my fun adventures. Okay. Now the fun adventures, the Bitcoin and all that jazz, it's was brutal, but big deal. That's the game I'm playing. I wasn't expecting. That's just pure bonus stuff. The growth babies, they took a hit. So I see that in the overall performance. Like we're talking.
But what is bad? But what has been my advice to you? Like
it's not a week to week game. It's
you can't look at it day to day or even week to week.
True.
You gotta keep an eye on it. Maybe make some updates.
Or maybe not keep an eye on it. Maybe I should
I think I said every quarter.
Yeah, I'd be in a better mindset right now if I didn't even look at the stocks for the last week.
If it is a long-term thing, then you're better off, in my opinion. This is not any advice to the good listener, but you're better off, in my opinion, not really worrying about like what happens in a day or even a week or 2 weeks.
Agreed. The problem is though, it becomes fun to watch yourself make money without even doing anything.
But then it becomes shitty when you lose money on the other hand. Which in the week that you've had.
Yeah, I've learned. I'm done. I'm done looking through the week. And you know what? Every few paychecks, when I get my little bit of cash that I would like to invest, that's when I'll look and I'll make a call.
Exactly. So I think you're better off.
That's it. That's all. No more stock.
So another thing to really top off. Your crappy week.
Oh, what else?
Was the closing of where we had coffee last week.
To the good listener business owners out there, you do not want us recommending your business. We talked last week about the best breakfast we had at the grounds in Stittsville.
Can we say that? I guess now we can.
I guess we just did. We can totally say it because they sadly don't even exist anymore. So that's the point of this story.
A few days after we were there, you had a beautiful breakfast, really nice crispy bacon, eggs, toast.
I think I described the whole thing last week. Yeah, you did describe it. It was amazing.
That's why I'm redescribing it.
Okay.
And don't we get in the news or notification from BJ, actually. He sent it. He sent along.
The bearer of bad news.
Bearer of more bad news for you this week. That the Grounds Coffee, because of the lockdown measures put in place by the government, let's get that straight.
Let's get that straight.
They could not sustain their business any longer.
It wasn't sustainable.
With having when we were there was
But the real kick.
They closed.
Yeah, the real kick in the ass though is this is what sucks, and I don't claim to understand how businesses are run, but they make it through the lockdown, then they open up, it's hard to say, right? Maybe, I think I just figured it out in my own head.
Okay.
Right? They realized they opened back up, they served some great stuff for a couple of days, but then they did the math and they're like, well, now that we're open, this is what we're making, this is what we have to pay. It's impossible.
You cannot.
So they cut it.
Well, that's it. Because when we were there, obviously, they only had a couple of tables.
Right.
Whereas when we went in the past,
full.
They were always full.
Yeah.
So a restaurant operates on very thin margins as it is.
No, this is the sad reality.
And so if you cut down on the number of tables, they can't sustain the business. So I'm talking mom and pop shops for the most part.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of East Side Mario's. If they
have the bigger chains.
Yeah, if they have 200 tables and you're allowed to sit at 100 tables, maybe it can still get by.
Yeah.
But the poor old grounds with their 12 tables cut down to 7.
Not even. They were cut down to 3.
Yeah, that's
25% capacity.
Anyways,
See, my math was good there.
No, so no one wants to listen to this doom and gloom, man.
I know, but that was your week.
Between Puri, the stock market, and the grounds, God.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
But on a happy note, then, we want to move to a happy note.
I really do.
Yeah.
Really do.
So my brother said he would no longer sue me for slander.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. because I apologized in last week's episode.
I thought that was kind of funny, actually. That kept me going, those crazy stories.
Yeah, because I apologized and said that he was funny on last week's show. Yeah. So he said that the lawsuit's off the table.
Okay, that's a positive.
So that, very positive.
Now, like on a positive, I mean,
maybe I can hire him back as my lawyer.
There you go. Yeah. Like I love the spring. I had some great days with what am I trying to say? Great days, curling, skating.
It's kind of like skiing. My hydrogeologist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't even know what I was trying to say there. But I do have a funny curling story.
Yeah,
You're supposed to remind me of that.
No, I was just about to ask you.
The one thing I didn't want to, I know we don't plan anything, but I did mention to Darcy before the podcast, I'm like, God, don't forget to ask me about the curling story.
DDT.
Okay, so as an outdoor educator, curling is a big part of what we do. And traditionally, it was amazing. Like the curling clubs love having kids in. It grows the sport. We'd hop on a bus, go curling for an hour, come back, yada, 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 yada. Can't go anywhere these days. Still not allowed on buses, which sucks. Yeah. So I had this crazy idea to bring the curling to the kids. There's lots of outdoor rinks around the school, and we'll do some
ODR.
Yeah, so we'll do some ODR curling. Nice. So I'm thinking, how the heck am I going to get curling stones? In comes, to my mind that is, Howard Rajala. I'm sure you know who Howard is. No, you have no idea. So Howard Rajala, out of the Rito Curling Club, is world famous. Howard went to the Briar a couple times. Howard
should be a guest on our show.
Oh, he'd make a great guest. Yeah. So how do I know Howard? Well, funny enough, our daughters played hockey together last year. And when I first met him in person, I'm like, I know the name, but it's just such a unique name. And I am a curling fan. Yeah. I do actually watch curling, and I play it a bit. Great game. So I'm like, I wonder if Howard would have an idea. Fire off an email to Howard. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Thinking about curling with the kids. Can't take them anywhere. You ever think I could get curling stones? Clint, great to hear from you. Blah, blah, blah. Duffy, great to hear from you. Blah, blah, blah. I think I might be able to help you out. He goes, I think we have some junior stones that we hardly ever use. So I'm thinking juniors, like there's the real big curling stones, and then they have ones that are slightly lighter. Yeah. And be perfect for the outdoor curling. Yeah. All right, Howard, perfect. Let me know. Couple emails back and forth. Clint, yeah. Duffy, yeah. Set you up nicely. Pierre at the curling club, here's his email. He'd love to share them with you. The more kids that get into the sport, the better, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And why not come in and use the ice here? I'm like, well, holy frig. Oh. That's a nice option, too. Yeah. So funny enough, we can't get on a bus to go anywhere with schools these days, yet they can take buses to and from school. Right? Makes no sense. Yeah. Anyways, not going there. Still really grateful to have what we have. So, but we can walk places. So we've walked to the canal, like 5 kilometers with teenagers. Yeah. You talk about an interesting event. I guess. Like some kids walk fast, some kids are slow. Yeah. So we could walk there. So the curling club from my school is like 6.5 kilometers. Okay. So in theory, we could walk there. Yeah. But we'll see. So I'm really hoping we could get a lift somehow.
So you haven't done it yet?
I haven't done it yet. So the whole point of the curling story is I finally connect with Pierre, and he's like, yeah, come on over, pick up the stones. So
I thought there was like some type of good ending.
No, there's a funny part to this story.
Oh, okay.
Really funny, actually. So I get over to the curling club. I'm walking in. I'm like, side funny stories. I start walking in. This guy comes running over to me with the hands. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, oh my God, did I forget my mask? No. Yeah. You got to put the booties on.
Oh, yeah. But
I'm not on the ice. I'm in the actual, the club part. Yeah. This place is meticulous. I've never seen such a this place is like pristine. So I tiptoe backwards out the door, put on the stupid booties, then everything's good. Like, there's a bunch of old guys having a drink. It looked really cool. Like, that's the fun part of curling, I guess, is the social piece. Anyhow, so I meet this other guy, Ian. And Ian, Pierre, and myself were lugging these 10, maybe 20-pound rocks out to my truck, back and forth. And then I get chatting with Ian, who's a member
You
of
didn't use the Prius for this? Can we say Prius?
the Prius.
You didn't use the electric vehicle.
The electric vehicle did not make the trip to the Rideau Curling Club. Anyhow, so we're loading up the F-150 with the curling stones, and Ian and I just start small talk, whatever. Yeah. He's a member of the club, and I'm like, yeah, my buddy Howard set me up. Oh yeah, I know Howard. Yeah, we've curled together forever. And I'm like, yeah, he's a hell of a curler, I guess. Hey, yeah. And I'm like, oh well, I just want to, introduce it to kids. Maybe we'll find another Howard. I said, I don't know if we'll ever, get any Olympic champions out of it. And he's like, yeah, no, it's great. Got to keep the clubs alive. We need youth. And I'm like, you know what you need to do, Ian? Here I am telling Ian what to do. He runs the curling club. Yeah. I'm like, 20-year-olds, man. Curling looks amazing for the social aspect. You got a beautiful bar in there. I said, it's pristine. Exactly. Pierre got mad at me because I didn't have my booties on. Like this looks like just the perfect sort of Friday night activity if you're 25. Sure, yeah. Curl, have some drinks, right?
You could sweep right.
So here's the funny part. Sweep right, sweep left.
Huh?
Oh, you're onto something there.
Like Tinder, but instead of swipe, you sweep.
Finally, a contribution, Darcy. I like
I'm waiting for the
That's
big
gold.
punchline.
That's gold. Well, here's the punchline. So I'm like, Ian, I said, I don't know if you'll ever produce Olympic curlers out of this, but it'll keep things going. Yeah. And he's like, well, I never threw a stone till I was 20. Ian says that. I'm like, huh. Well, Ian, you're not exactly an Olympic curler, are you? Yeah. He's like, I'm Ian. I can't remember his last name.
He was an Olympic curler?
I'm like, oh. I said, so you are an Olympic curler. And he goes, well, I never made the Olympics, but everything Howard did, I've done more. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, he's like, I'm just kidding you. But no, I've been to the Briar. I've done this. And I'm like,
was he ever Team Canada?
I don't remember. But his point was, you could be a high-level curler starting in your 20s. Yeah. And I'm like, no kidding. He's like, well, yeah. He said, I didn't start curling till I was 20. But I tell you, I threw a lot of stones in my 20s. So he probably fell in love with the game just practice over and over. So I've been meaning to look him up and see. Great guy, though, a lot like Howard. And I guess they've curled together. Right. So perhaps wherever Howard, I don't know if they were on the same team. They must have been on the same team for some other stuff. Yeah. But yeah, like making it to the Briar, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is big time.
Like we're the biggest in Canada. Yeah, we're the biggest country in the world for curling. Yeah. And probably the most competitive, obviously. And to get to something like that is cool. But yeah, there I am. Total Duffy moment. Foot right in the mouth. Yeah. Foot with the slider on it.
Exactly.
And I had a great laugh with that, and we chatted for a bit. Anyways, end of the story. Got 16 junior curling stones, and we look forward to introducing that to the students this week. And it's perfect timing. I mean, the Scotties is on right now, and I think the Briar is starting up next weekend or the weekend after. So it's perfect. There's my curling story.
Yeah, that took about as long as your
AMC, baby.
AMC story. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Have I ever curled? The only time I do curl, well, I still got two funny curling stories. I've been in 2 Bonspiels, and I actually won both of them.
Oh, really?
One was in high school, the Almont Junior Hackers Open. I wasn't the skip or anything. I was probably just a second or a third.
Like a standby?
No, a second or a third. Alternate? Did lots of sweeping, which is important in curling.
You were the beer drinker.
In high school, maybe. Not officially. I don't know how we can go with that. Won that, and then at Waterloo, at university, we did a fun event, and that involved some drinking for sure. Yeah. And
isn't that, like you said, that's part of the appeal of curling?
Super fun.
Which is like the après curl.
Super
you go into the bar and you have a few pops and whatever.
And curling clubs are established, and they don't last for 100 years if they don't have good bars and good food and stuff. So anyways, had a blast with that. Yeah, 2 for 2 on the Bonspiels. But and then
just got some talent in curling.
No talent at all. Just I was on good teams, I think. I had good luck. But every year taking the kids curling through the outdoor ed program has been a blast. Yeah. Like I was telling you earlier, I mean, the kids are brutal.
Oh,
they're brand new curlers, so they're brutal. I just want to make sure they don't fall and hurt themselves.
Yeah.
So me as probably a 4 out of 10 curler looks pretty good with them.
Yeah.
But if I had to actually curl with real curlers, I don't know. It'd be fun. I'd like to do it.
Yeah, I've tried curling and I'm terrible. I'm like
straight up terrible.
Straight up, yeah. Like it is very difficult.
I find if people watch curling, if you watch curling and you appreciate the game and then you try, then you appreciate how hard it is.
No, I've watched curling for sure.
Yeah.
And mostly the women's. And
yeah.
And it is very difficult.
Yeah.
You know. But you're right though. Like you do get in trouble if you go anywhere near with boots on.
Yes.
Winter boots, forget about it.
Yeah, there's an action.
I have covered curling.
Oh, okay.
For what I do in my
yeah. That's
media,
right.
In media, and like you cannot go on the ice without having the little booties
100%.
on. Yeah.
Well, can you imagine like this residual salt on your boots going on?
Oh God, like that ice has to be pristine.
Yeah, it's amazing
to be able to curl well.
Yeah.
So they're really particular about
and
that.
As they should be. Like I actually told them at the club, thank you so much for the opportunity, for the invite to come, but I'm like, I need to see if I think my students are appropriate for something, because I would hate for them to go into such a beautiful facility and not understand.
Because we all know how teens can
do. Teens, yeah, I got great kids, and I think we can do it. It's just now I have to do my job for the next week or two and train them and teach them and get them prepared. And then if I feel they could handle such a thing, then it's going to be a 3-hour walk for some of them. No, it'll be an hour. And
they'll be all curled out before they get curling.
The Google Maps say it's an hour and 20-minute walk. It said an hour for the canal. We did it in 50.
Which curling club?
The Rideau Curling Club, right downtown.
Can we say that?
Oh, shout out to the Rideau Curling Club.
Can we say Rideau Curling Club?
You know what we're going to say? We're going to hashtag the shit out of this stuff. Remember, that's what JB said.
Oh, BJ, yeah. I think you were complaining. Well, you didn't. It wasn't a complaint, but it was like
it's just a fact.
We haven't increased our listenership, and
we've increased it.
There's probably a few reasons for that.
Yeah, for sure there is.
But one of them, we'll leave out the content for a second of the podcast.
Yeah,
maybe is one of the major reasons why we're not increasing our listenership.
A reason for sure.
But we do no marketing.
Nothing.
Okay, we don't do any marketing other than like you'll send it out to your buddies and whatever. Which one buddy you haven't sent it. We have a mutual buddy you haven't sent it out.
Still, you haven't even told people like that. Yeah.
But we don't do any marketing. So BJ, when we had a coffee with him yesterday,
he was very serious about everything.
Yeah, he was like all of a sudden. Yeah, he turned really serious.
Very serious on how to do it.
You need to hashtag the crap out of stuff.
Yeah.
Hashtag this, hashtag that.
Yeah. So I might, but I mean, I think the point of doing
set up a Twitter? Can we say Twitter account?
Yeah, I have a Twitter account.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Oh yeah, set one up for CCC.
For Cop Coffee.
So I'm willing to try that, but the whole point is like, I don't even think we care. The reason we do this is for our own mental health.
BJ seemed to care more than us.
He seemed to take great pride in whether this renewed effort to market the program will work or not.
Yeah, he did take that. He was like, you guys got to market this thing.
Well,
and it was like, wow.
Yeah. I think we have to work on chopping it down from 28 minutes and 30 seconds. Is that what I just saw?
You did see that.
Okay, so look.
There was a few seconds of
maybe you can trim it up a bit.
Yeah, I think we hit everything that we wanted to.
I think so. I think it was a good podcast. Really appreciate anyone that's going to devote this amount of their own time to listening to us talk while we sip coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe it speaks to their lives as much as ours.
Like my brother said,
more. Yeah.
25 minutes, 50 minutes of time.
You'll never get back.
Of his life.
There you go, folks. I'll say that one more time, and then we'll sign off. It's up to 28 minutes of your life.
Now 29.
That you'll never get back. Cop Car Coffee.